This is a 10-year-old professional camcorder, but it has one feature that makes it stand out from almost all the other cinema cameras. It can shoot really nice images in 4K, has dual SD card slot, professional XLR audio, and a lot of manual controls. But the feature that makes this camera stand out from most other cinema cameras is the built-in variable ND filter. But what does that actually mean? Well, normally if you want to get a nice video, you want to get a motion blur effect and maybe a blurry background as well. But when you try to do that on most cameras, the image gets too bright, so you need to use an ND filter. So it's kind of like sunglasses for your camera. And most of the time you have 2 or 3 options, but this camera actually has a variable ND filter. So that means that when you activate it and the lighting in your scene changes, the ND filter makes sure that the exposure stays constant. So you can shoot at the same shutter speed, ISO and aperture, and then the built-in ND filter will adjust the exposure for you. Okay, so this is a quick video test using the Sony FS5. And you might think it doesn't look great because you have a high shutter speed and no background blur, but you can activate the ND filter and we can change the aperture. And now, as you can see, we have a nice motion blur while having a little bit of a background blur. And we can also change the picture profile because the colors are now on the standard, which look very flat. And now I will change it to picture profile 1, which is a custom one that I made. And now you can see you have a nice motion blur, a nice blurry background and great colors. So if I deactivate the ND filter, you should see that we have a very high shutter speed, or we don't have the blurry background anymore. But let's activate the ND filter again. And now you can see we have a blurry background, the right shutter speed, a great microphone quality, and also we have the custom picture profile. The actual images that you can get out of this are really nice. Even in 1080p it has a really great amount of detail. So it captures the full sensor and it just looks like a really nice image with great highlight roll-off. But then you do need to shoot in a custom picture profile because the standard colors of this camera look very ugly. I don't really like them. So here's a quick picture profile test. Right now I'm shooting on the standard picture profiles, and as you can see it looks kind of flat, not a lot of saturation and also not a lot of contrast. And now this is picture profile 1, and as you can see it should look a lot better. Nicer highlights, I think. A bit more color and a bit more contrast. Obviously this camera isn't really meant for vlogging, but it's just to show what type of image quality you can get. And this is also one of the cheapest lenses you can get. So that means that if you put a better lens on here, you can get a much better image quality. So let's do a quick microphone test between the internal microphone and the shotgun microphone. So what you're hearing right now is the internal microphone. And what is so nice is that you can select multiple channels. So I can also record the shotgun and the internal microphone at the same time. And now we are switching to the shotgun microphone. And as you can see, or as you can hear, the audio sounds a lot more clear. It sounds really good. So I really like the Sony ECM XM1 shotgun microphone, because XLR audio makes the sound a lot better. And a few years ago this was really my dream camera, but now that I've actually used it for a while, I definitely see some features that don't make this the perfect camera for everyone. Because this is definitely a professional camera that doesn't work that great in automatic mode. And that is definitely noticeable with the autofocus. So especially with third-party lenses you can notice that the autofocus is just really slow. So here's a quick autofocus test using the Sony FS5. I hope it focuses on me right. Yes, it does. Okay. So right now you have me in the focus. Now if I move to the background, will it do the background in focus? Now I will move back into frame to see how good the autofocus works. And it still doesn't have me. Okay, and now you can see that it has the autofocus correctly on me. Now let's move to the background again. What you're hearing right now is the internal microphone. And if I move closer here, let's see if it does the focus. Yeah, it does it decently well. Now let's move to the background again. And as you can see, it does work decent sometimes. So now let's see if it focuses. So with this lens, it does focus most of the time. Whereas with some other lenses, it likes to focus only on the background. Now let's look if it can get this one in focus. Like this is a bit more of a difficult scenario. where the newer Sony cameras would work, but as you can see with this one, it doesn't focus, so I have to switch to manual focus, adjust it, then go back to autofocus. So here's a quick look again. This is the custom picture profile. This is no picture profile. So if you quickly want to point and shoot and get a good image, then this might not be the perfect camera for you. Another thing is that the sensor is outdated. I understand why they used this sensor, because it can capture really high quality images. It just has a really nice amount of detail. But the sensor was first used in the Sony F5, which is a cinema camera from 15 years ago. So that means it already had a 5-year-old sensor when it was released, and that means that the low light performance of this camera isn't great. First I thought it would be great because the minimum ISO even in the standard picture profile is 800, so I thought wow, it should be very good in low light, but actually no, it's not. So the low light with an f4 lens is very comparable to something like a smartphone or a 1-inch camcorder. But that does not mean that this is a bad camera. And when you look at the design you might think wow, it is a small version of the FS7, but when I use the FS7 it definitely feels like a different camera, and that is because the FS7 has different menu systems, also has the Cine EI mode, different picture profiles, so matching the two is very difficult unless you shoot in S-Log2 or S-Log3, and it also lacks some features, but still it is a very nice camera to use. And what I also love here on the side is these audio controls. So when you connect a shotgun microphone you can get a really high quality audio out of this camera. Sadly the internal microphone is on the top handle, so when you remove the top handle the only thing you have left is the XLR port on the back of the camera. So this top handle is definitely needed if you want to get good audio. And what is also nice is that you have this monitor that you can easily adjust to any position that you like. And I like this manual control layout with the ISO, white balance and shutter speed. Here you can also adjust the aperture of the lens. Maybe an extra custom button would have been nice here. And for the codecs you can shoot in AVC HD or XAVC. When you are shooting in Full HD XAVC it will capture 10-bit colors. And the bitrate is 50 megabits per second in Full HD and 100 megabits per second in 4K. But I've noticed myself using a lot more of the Full HD, because the Full HD out of this camera looks very sharp and you can also get smaller file sizes. Another way to improve the autofocus of this camera is to use Sony lenses. So here I have the newest generation kit lens for the APS-C mirrorless lineup, and sadly it is not that great with the aperture, but because of the higher aperture and the newer motors, the autofocus is a lot faster compared to using some other lenses that aren't made for Sony. So should you get the Sony FS5 today? Well, for most people who quickly want to point and shoot and get a great result, this isn't a great camera, it's not really meant for that. But for professional people who are used to manual focusing, don't need the best low light performance and like all the manual controls, this can still be an amazing option. Even though it might not have the newest codecs, it does have a really nice image quality. But what do you think of the Sony FS5? Let me know in the comments down below, and thank you so much for watching.